Hey, coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. It's the 1958 Lincoln 1 cent coin, Lincoln facing to the right. We've got two of them here, one on the obverse or front, one on the reverse or the back. And this is, of course, the last year that they made what they called the wheat ears cent. So let's talk a little bit about that and go through these two coins. And what we'll do first, of course, is turn this one over. And you know that with the Lincoln penny, the back is flipped or the front is flipped. So if we flip it end to end, wait a second, if we flip it end to end, it'll be up right side up. So we can't flip it sideways, but if we flip it end to end, it'll come back right side up. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the 1958 Philadelphia Mint coin here and the 1958 Denver Mint coin here. And we know that in 1959, they changed the back of the coin and made it into a Lincoln Memorial cent from the wheat ears. And we can see Lincoln way in there. Of course, this is a Frank Gasparo, FG over here. He's the one who was responsible for the eagle landing on the moon on the half in the Susan B. Anthony dollar. And so in 1959, they changed to this. But what did they have in 1958, and where did it come from, and how long did they have it for? Well, that's something that we can definitely talk about because we do have one of the original Lincoln pennies here. And let's really magnify this up, and you will see that is Lincoln facing to the right. In God we trust up above him, liberty behind him. And that's the same on these coins that were produced 60 years later. 1909, and that's a beautiful little O there, isn't it? The zero there. And we tip it up and we see that there's not any initials on here. And there's a reason for that, and that is the 1909s, if they have initials, they're going to be really, really, really valuable. And it's going to be right back here. The VDB will be on the back. So this particular coin here, this 1909 Lincoln 1 cent coin, the first year they came out, we know it's a Philadelphia coin, and we know that it's not the famous VDB coin that is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. In fact, we know that if you can find the VDB in a really good condition, it's worth $20,000 to $30,000. What is this coin right here worth? Well, that's interesting. We can look at it, and we know that it's over 110 years old right now. We can read it all. We can see it all. We can see the lines here. A couple little divots here and there, but very readable coin. So it's probably somewhere in the very fine to extra fine range. It's certainly not almost uncirculated. So it's probably worth a few dollars. And you'd say, well, I mean, it's this is the original coin, and it's over 100 years old. But really, this because of the condition that, and they made a lot of them. Let's not forget that they made 72 million of these, so there's still plenty of them around. So $5, $6, $7, not a bad deal for a coin like this. And if you want one, go out and get one, because of course they won't last forever. And we don't even make the Lincoln Memorial or wheat ears anymore. We're back onto the shield cents. All right, well, if they made 72 million of these, and then 60 years later, the 60th year later, they made some in Philly and some in Denver. How many did they make in each? Well, in Philadelphia, which is right here, of course in 1958, there's going to be no mint mark for Philadelphia, so don't look for the P there. They made 252.5 million. All right, 252.5 million. They think there's probably millions of them still around. So this coin here on the left, the Lincoln Memorial cent, 1958, Philadelphia, no mint mark, even though it's a wheat ears cent, is only going to be worth somewhere under $1 unless you're starting to get up into mint state 65 or over. This one here, which is the Denver Mint, they made 801 million. Same thing. You're going to need it to be an MS-65 or above to get over the dollar mark. Why? Well, if you think about what I just said, they made over $1 billion between the two mints. And so that is going to impact them greatly. All right, what is the wheat ears part? Well, this is actually shapes of wheat. So if you look at out on the stalk of wheat out in the wheat fields, this is what's at the top and where you get the grain from. And so they call these kind of colloquially wheat ears, and that's where this is from. It's nothing to do with Lincoln's ear or ears, though some people think, well, it looks almost like kind of a cauliflower or a boxer's ear. There are some specialty coins sometimes you'll find where something weird has happened to Lincoln's ear, Lincoln's actual ear. But when they talk about the wheat ears, they're not talking about Lincoln's ears. They're talking about the wheat on the back. So for 60 years they made them with the wheat ears on the back, and then they moved in 1959 to, and this is a 62 I'm showing you right here, but in 59 they moved to this Lincoln Memorial reverse. Same thing on the back. You see it says United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and we can see that on here, United States of America, down here instead of up around the top, and then E Pluribus Unum up here rather than in the middle of the newer ones, and the 1 cent up near the top rather. So they changed it quite a bit. Oh, this almost looks like a die crack here, doesn't it? Let's take a look at this. This very well could be a die crack here, but because this coin is in kind of sad, beat up shape, even if that is a die crack right there, which it might very well be, it sure looks like it might be, it's not going to have a huge amount of value. But I would still collect it. And as I said, this is a 62, so they moved to these coins in 1959 from the wheat ears, and then they just kind of kept going until the Life of Lincoln coins came out, at which point they still had Lincoln on the front, but they had 4 different versions of Lincoln's life on the back, and then after that they moved to the shield pennies. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. Let's take another look at that 1909. It doesn't look that much different in color, in size, or even in constitution if we look at the back than the later coins. All right, have a great day from DC Coin World. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.